Welcome to today's deep dive. I'm your host, here with our resident expert, and today we are speaking as internal experts for Transfer Ready by Succession Strength. Imagine you spend 25 years building a highly profitable construction business.
Right.
You're hitting like 12 million in revenue, your margins are super solid, and you've got a deeply loyal team, so you're finally ready to retire. But when you go to market to sell your life's work, you discover absolutely no one wants to buy it.
Yeah, it is a brutal reality check.
Yeah.
And I mean, looking through our internal market research and client case files here at Succession Strength, it happens way more often than you'd think.
Wait, really? Even with 12 million in revenue?
Oh, absolutely. So today, our mission is to explore exactly why a highly profitable business is completely unsellable if the owner is making all the decisions.
Okay, wait, I've got to stop you right there because I am a bit confused. Like, if a company's generating 12 million in revenue, the cash flow is obviously there, right?
Yeah.
So why does a buyer care who's actually making the decisions or signing the checks? Cash flow is cash flow. I mean, to the owner, that strong cash flow just looks like a sturdy brick house.
Well, it looks sturdy because the owner's the sturdy part. But buyers aren't paying for past revenue, you know. They're paying for future sustainable cash flow.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so if you are the only load-bearing wall in that entire structure, buyers just see a house of cards. Take that $12 million construction case from our files.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at the notes on that one.
Right, so the owner puts the company on the market, and the broker just absolutely loves the financials. But over 6 months, every single buyer walked away. The verdict was unanimous.
Wow. So take me inside the buyer's head during those 6 months. Like, what exactly are they seeing that spooks them so badly? The management team was capable, weren't they?
I mean, they were capable of following orders, sure. But during due diligence, buyers test for leadership independence using what's grimly called the bus test.
The bus test. Like, if you get hit by a bus.
Exactly. If the owner gets hit by a bus tomorrow, does the business collapse?
Yeah.
And in this case, the micromanagement was completely systemic.
How bad are we talking?
Well, every single vendor contract over $1,000 needed his personal signature.
You're kidding. $1,000
Yeah.
in a $12 million company.
Yes. And he set all the client pricing himself. The entire company strategy basically just lived exclusively inside his head.
Okay, so even though his management team was totally capable, buyers didn't see leaders. They just saw a room full of people waiting around for instruction.
Exactly. And buyers are looking to acquire transferability. They want an asset that runs itself.
Yeah.
They are definitely not going to pay a premium to acquire operational fragility.
Right. And that fragility, it costs real money. Because looking at the financial fallout of this case, the owner went in expecting an $8 million valuation based on his numbers, right?
Yeah, he thought $8 million was a lock.
But he ended up having to accept a meager $4 million offer, half, and worse, he was trapped in a 2-year earnout. Can you explain the mechanics of that? Like, why use an earnout there?
Sure. An earnout is essentially a buyer shifting the risk right back onto the seller.
Mm-hmm.
The buyer's basically saying, look, I don't believe this company can survive without you.
Right.
So I'm going to hold back half the money, and you have to stay here and work for me for 2 years just to prove the company can actually run without your constant input.
That sounds absolutely miserable. You try to retire, and instead you get a massive pay cut and a brand new boss for 2 years.
It's a huge financial penalty for not building a self-sustaining team, yeah.
It reminds me of building a custom sports car where only one person in the world has the key. Like, it might be incredibly fast, but it's totally worthless to anyone else.
That is a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
It highlights the fundamental difference between owning a valuable asset and just owning a highly paid job.
Mhm.
And, you know, when this particular owner complained to his accountant, he literally said, I built this company. Of course it runs through me. That's my job.
Oh, wow. The ultimate blind spot. He thought the bottleneck was a feature, not a bug.
Exactly. And his accountant had to break the news that this belief was exactly the problem. If you wait until you are sitting across from a buyer in due diligence to find out your team lacks authority, it's already too late.
You've completely lost your leverage. So how do you find out what a buyer's going to see before you actually go to market?
Well, this is where the business transition risk diagnostic comes into play. It helps you evaluate your decision bottlenecks, your leadership independence, and your governance structure.
Ah, gotcha.
It basically shows you exactly what a buyer would see, so you can run that bus test on your own operations without the risk of going to market and tanking your valuation.
Which leaves us with a really critical warning today. A business that looks incredibly strong from the inside can look dangerously fragile to buyers from the outside.
Right, so here's a final thought to chew on. If you were forced to walk away from your business for 90 days starting tomorrow, which of your top clients would be the first to panic?
That is a very heavy thought. Make sure you aren't the only load-bearing wall. Visit successionstrength.com or email info@successionstrength.com to measure your decision bottleneck. Follow the Transfer Ready by Succession Strength podcast.